Hey everyone, this is Trish. Welcome back to ByrdFeed, where I like to share ideas and inspiration for packing Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. Today I'm going to share with you how I make a coloring book and my favorite sites for free coloring page downloads. If you watch my channel, you know that I enjoy packing themed shoebox gifts, and I like to include a coloring book in every shoebox that I pack. Occasionally, I can't find just the right one at a reasonable price for a particular box, so I just make one. Last week, I shared a sunflower themed shoebox that I had made a coloring book for, and one of my viewers asked if I would please do a video on how I make my coloring books. So today, that's what I'm going to do. So this is the sunflower coloring book that I made for my sunflower shoebox. I could not find I was just looking for a coloring book that had maybe one sunflower in it, and I found many coloring books with flowers in them, but no sunflowers, except on Amazon for like, $7, $8, or $9. So I decided to make my own. And I just use regular 20-pound copy paper. Now, if you're into making coloring books often, you might want to invest in paper that is a little bit heavier. This is a 20-pound regular copy, or printer paper is what I should call it. And maybe 24-pound or even 28-pound might be better if you want to print on both sides. Because as you can you see the print from the other side of the page comes through a little bit. It's not really that big of a deal. But anyway, so this coloring book has 11 pages of 20-pound paper in it. And then I use cardstock for the cover, and the cardstock I'm using is 65 pounds. So with 11 pages of 20-pound paper and 2 cardstock pages, I found it difficult to staple with the staplers that I have. What you need is just a regular heavy-duty office stapler. Both of these are swing line staplers, which is a good stapler, but they're really light duty. And in order to staple through these so that both prongs come through and close without getting smashed up on the front, you can see I did have that happen. I don't know if you can see where I pulled those staples out. When I use this stapler, I had to actually borrow my neighbor's stapler, and I've already returned it, so I can't show it to you. But it's it's like an office desk stapler. When I say heavy duty, it doesn't look any different than this in a larger size, but it'll staple through that. And the heavier duty stapler you get, the more pages you can put in these. Or you don't have to use cardstock, and it might help. I don't always staple them. I often do it this way. I put them in these clear report covers that has this binding that just slips down. This is another one that I made, Muppet Babies. This one's really cute. Where did I get? I think I got most of these on I Heart Crafty Things. So in this one, I did use cardstock for the front and the back. I just like to put a cover, and then I find some clip art online that I can print, and I print it there. Clip art library is what I usually use. And then at the top, I run it through my printer to print coloring book. So all I do is, I don't have Word, so you want to do this either on Word or Google. This is Google Docs. My laptop did not come with Word, and rather than buy Word, since you have to buy it nowadays, I opted to put Google Docs on here because it's free. So I just write coloring book. You can write whatever you want on here. You could, if it didn't say, for instance, Muppet Babies, you could write Muppet Babies coloring book, and you can change it to whatever font you want. This is a landscape page that I'm up to 96 in the size of my letters, and I made it a color that happens to be green because I picked up the green in the sunflower on this one. This is the last one that I printed. I found some sunflower clip art that I liked, and I ran this through the printer first. I left space for the words coloring book, and I ran it through the printer again. You just have to make sure you put it back in the printer the correct way so that when it comes out, it prints coloring book. So that's how I do them. Now you can also do them half a page, because I make these for my Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes, and like any other coloring book, if it's not in a shoebox that's wide enough to accommodate 8.5 inches, because this is 8.5 by 11, you're going to slide it down the back and fold it over. If you prefer making a smaller coloring book, you can do the same thing and reduce your pages. Now, you would need to have a printer that allows you to manipulate the size of the image and the direction that it prints. So for instance, all of these pages were landscape and took up a whole 8.5 by 11 page. So my printer allows me to flip. I can flip this so that it will print on an 8.5 by 11. It'll print this way, and I can reduce it. It's just like with my computer. I just take my fingers and reduce it and move it to one side. So I printed this, then I did the same thing with this one, and I moved it to the bottom side and ran this same paper through again and printed it on both sides and did it on this page as well. Then you can either cut it in half and staple it like I've done here, and you can use cardstock or not. You don't have to have a cover. And the other option is if you have a long reach stapler, you would turn it over to have the back. You want the whole piece of the staple to be on the outside and then the closed edges to be on the inside. So you would flip it over, do your long reach, staple it in the middle, and then you don't have to cut it. You just fold it and you would have a coloring book. So that's what I do. There are so many different websites. If you just Google free coloring pages, you can usually find different sites, but my favorites are Crayola.com, iHeartCraftyThings.com, HomemadeGiftsMadeEasy.com, and that has a hyphen between each word, and WooJunior.com. This, How to Draw Flowers for Kids, I got from WooJunior.com. iHeartCraftyThings has how to draw pages as well, but I think I got all these from Woo Junior. And it was just a page that I printed to make my cover page. I got it off of Woo Junior. The Muppets, I got all these from iHeartCraftyThings. They're really adorable. Look at those. They're really, really cute. Now see, because this is dark, you can see the outline of the image on the other side. This happened to go through the printer without printing on the other side. I think it grabbed 2 sheets. It's the only reason that one doesn't have an image on this side, but that's what you could do too. You can print on just one side of the page instead of both. But that is how I make my coloring books. I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye now.